needs to really be scared here.
Johnny.
You're still afraid.
I'm Jack Carey, and this is First Frights, the show where we ask guests to talk about the very first film that scared them. Today, I'm joined by Jose Fortuna, comedian and all-round lovely guy.
Thank you very much.
Do you like to get scared, Jose?
That's such a short answer, no. But if it's a good scare and it's not coming from a bad place, then I'm okay with it. Does that make any sense?
I guess it does make sense.
Like if it's a friend and then he goes, ha ha ha, gotcha, that's fun. But if it's a random guy that just scared me on the street, like I want to kill you right now.
Yeah. I feel that's pretty good, like normal distinction, right?
Do you like to get scared?
I do like to get scared. I think why I quite like horror films is it's a controllable scare, right? Like it's a appointment to be scared. You're like, I'm going to go in, put it on, be scared,
True.
then leave.
Yeah. I don't really enjoy the scare in the dark, ghosty, weird things happening in the room, that you paranormal type of scare. Yeah. But if it's like gory, blood spilling, I'm going to stab you in the back, that's okay. That's how I went to jail, folks. So, I'm watching right now the Ed Gein story. I'm really enjoying it, and it's like quite like graphic, really, graphic stuff happening, and I'm okay with that. But if it's like there's a ghost in a house and then he comes and chokes you in your sleep, then I need to watch.
You draw the line there.
I need to watch cute cat videos before going to bed. Yeah. That's where my spectrum of horror lies, I believe.
So it's kind of you got cannibalism, murder. That's okay, but if there's like a boo.
If it's a boo, if it's a ghost, if I can't put a face to the happening, we've got a problem.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh, is that guy and he's clearly a psychopath and he's got some problems and hence why he murdered that old lady, which is what happens in the series, then that's fine, because I can sort of like put myself out of the situation. I was like, well, clearly this man is troubled for X, Y, and Z. So that's better for me.
It's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, exactly. And I still like fear of the dark. For instance, are you scared of the dark?
I am scared of the dark. Yeah.
You're scared of the dark?
A little bit. Yeah.
It's so interesting how that goes back to probably our primal instinct. So you don't know you may be attacked by someone.
Yeah.
But like if I couldn't, like in this studio at night, I couldn't sleep here. But like if it was, a room of a friend's house, I probably would be able to. You know what I mean? It's like not knowing your surrounding. There's something very.
It's like walking home alone, right? Sometimes can be, if you don't know where you are, like in a new place.
Yeah. I've come to get better used to that. That is actually not as scary for me. But I'm also like a man, and I know that's a different experience, isn't it? But I do sometimes give the old, oh yeah, everything's okay. It's just to check, just to make sure that it's safe.
And are you a horror movie fan then?
I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan, but I do enjoy a well-crafted horror film. Like when there's something that I'm like, oh, fair play. There is a clear reason why that's happened, whether that's based on real events or there's a good character at the core of it or a good story, then I appreciate a good horror fan. But like I wouldn't go, say if I'm going to the cinema, 9 times out of 10, I'm not seeing a horror, if that makes sense. But if it's a good one where I think it's going to be worth it and I quite understand the story, I'll probably go and see it.
That's a kind of a good thing, because it has to be a good horror film to get on your radar to an extent, right?
Yes. I actually think the last time I went to the cinema to see a horror film, and we're going to talk about later one that I've seen that I really enjoyed it, I believe it was Annabelle, the first Annabelle.
Annabelle, the haunted doll.
Yeah, the first one. Second one, I don't care for it, okay? The first one, I went with a few friends and we're like, we're good. And because it was like a team, we're like, oh, we're going to see a horror film. Let's embrace the challenge. And I quite enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I can't say that I disliked it, but I thought it was fun. Yeah, but then again, when you see it with friends and you're like, oh, here we go, and it suddenly changes the experience. Like if you see it on your own, it's different whether you see it with friends. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like maybe I'm weird, but I love going to cinema on my own.
Oof, weirdo.
Yeah. Get him out of here. For me, because I'm just a huge like movie buff, is that I like just sit. I get really control freaky about it. I just want to sit there and just be like, watch the movie. Don't talk to me. Don't try and eat food.
Oh, okay.
That's happened a few times where I feel like lots of people post-COVID will talk in a cinema. I feel like that's such a new thing, or they'll like go on their phone.
Oh, see, I hate that.
I hate that.
Oh, but do you think a lot of people go on their phone to in the cinema?
I think so. I think post-COVID, I think people have got so used to like watching films at home that when they go out, they see that as like an extension of their.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I get on my high horse now about film etiquette.
And we can go on that for a long time, because I think one of my pet peeves at the cinema is when people bring way too much food to the cinema. This is a film, not a medieval banquet,
When they've got the popcorn and the nacho tray, and the hot dog and the tango ice splash, each on their own, a great meal. Do you need all of them? Yeah,
it's like, would you want me to bring the cheese platter next? And, yeah. I mean, I say that, but I went to see One Battle After Another a couple of weeks ago, and great film. And I did bring my own nachos and guacamole dip.
Amazing.
I'm sorry, Odeon, Cardiff Bay.
You smuggled it in?
Oh, I always smuggle.
Amazing.
You gotta smuggle, right?
You gotta smuggle.
You gotta smuggle.
I like that, because most people, like their entry-level smugglers, where they'll bring in like popcorn. You were like, no, nachos.
Yeah, I'm gonna come clean. I did bring more than nachos and guacamole, but I'm too embarrassed to admit what else I brought. And here's me complaining about people.
Is there with a little picnic?
Let's say I brought a tote bag full of stuff because I'd gone to the gym before and I was quite hungry.
You deserved it.
Yeah, I did deserve it. This is where I think I get it right, because I will bring things, but I will be respectful about the noises I make when eating those things, because I'm very conscious about there's people around it that you sat next to and they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
So like I brought a can to drink.
How much stuff did you bring in?
A tote bag full of stuff. And I brought 4 beers with me. This is so embarrassing. And I would open the beers when they were like, gunshot, and I'll go. Do you know what I mean? So I'm respectful.
Considerate, yeah.
And then, you have to be mindful, you know? Yeah. It's the same thing when you are on the plane. I hate when people bring like smelly food on the plane, like a really smelly sandwich, and like, oh, now I gotta take place.
It's like a biological terror attack on like a Ryanair.
Yeah. So you're like, I don't really want to be smelling stuff, so I always make sure that I eat before getting on a flight. And welcome to my TED Talk, folks. This is it.
Well, that brings us back to, talk me through what the very first film scared you was.
So I told you that the film was The Others, right?
Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, Nicole Kidman in the film The Others. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Have you seen it? Do you like it?
I do like it.
He doesn't like it.
No, I do like it. I think it's a really good, like, I'm not a huge ghost story fan, but I think that aside, very enjoyable film. Very, very scary film.
Which is interesting, because I started this conversation saying that I don't actually like the ghost stories, but I think what makes that movie different from other like paranormal activity ghost stories is because the story at its core is quite convincing. So for those who don't know the film The Others, it takes place in this post-World War II world where this devout Catholic mother, Grace, I think is her name, moves into this mansion with her 2 kids. The kids suffer from a very specific medical condition where they can't be exposed to sunlight for very long. And during that stay in the mansion, 3 servants join in to look after the children, and then some strange things start happening. And I think what I like about is the tone of the film, first and foremost. It's very moody. I like the job that they did telling that story, pacing. There's a few jump scares as well.
There's some good jump scares. They're well-earned jump scares.
Exactly. Some well-earned jump scares. So please earn your jump scares. And I think that's a good tip. And I think that film does a really good job crafting those jump scares, and the twist at the end. My God, I love that twist. So when I watched that film for the first time, I remember being spooked out a little bit by that. I was like, this should not be happening. But I wasn't like scared to the deep core. And I watched it recently again, and my girlfriend was watching it for the first time, and she's not a big horror fan. But she really enjoyed it because for the same reasons that I've told you, that the story is very well paced. The themes that the film tackles, supernatural events, even grief and loss. I think the fact that it's set in that post-World War II world explains a lot the way the main character acts. And then I think that the twist at the end is absolutely fantastic. Even now, after not seeing it for a very long time, I nearly forgot what the twist was. And I was like, oh, this is brilliant.
And can you take me back to, do you remember watching it for the first time?
I watched it back in Portugal, and that film originally came as a DVD with a newspaper. So back when newspapers were cool, they in Portugal, sometimes on a Sunday, you'd buy a newspaper, and then every week, this is pre-Netflix. I don't know if they did this in the they did that in the UK.
Like the Daily Mail or something would have
would come with a DVD, and they would this season we're gonna do Quentin Tarantino's. So which I think is a brilliant idea, because it gives you a reason to go and get the newspaper. You get an extra film on top of that. So you're like, brilliant. Sunday evening sorted. And that's...
Just simpler time back then.
Much simpler times. And so I remember I watched it a DVD that came with a newspaper. But I can't really remember the first time I watched it.
But you rewatched it recently?
I did. Yeah, I did.
And what was that like? Because you watched that with your partner.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was very good. I didn't see that ending coming. And I think what struck me the most was the jump scares in the film, and even the score. You got to have a good score, I think, for a horror film. Do you agree? I
agree. Well, interesting about the score is the director. He wrote, directed, and did the score.
I love, and this is also what I want to say. I love a writer that directs, which is a good tip for you. Start directing, that's what I'm saying.
Why did you prefer that? Do you feel because it's a more complete, cinematic?
Absolutely, because I think no director will ever understand a story better than the writer itself. So, I suppose the director can get into the shoes of the writer as much as he can, and as he or she wants. But I think as a writer, you will have the complete understanding of what every scene means and what it should look like from a cinema standpoint.
Sure. Yeah.
So I really like when a writer can step out of his comfort zone and direct, because not every writer can direct. And I think that's what stands a lot of writer-directors or director-writers apart from the rest, is the fact that they can convey those words onto the screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think the fact that he wrote the story probably makes the film much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a full, I think he said in an interview, it's a full kind of his vision that he's basically packaged everything, right? The music, written it, he's directed it, he has all, outside of editing it, has that entire control of what the experience should be.
And this is also, I think, another thing that I appreciate in the movie, which is similarly that I also appreciate in comedy, is there is basically one location in the film. And I like that. I like that you were able to tell a story in about an hour and a half in just a single location. Obviously, there's the interior and the exterior. There's a few exterior scenes. but I like that there's just one location. There's no 10 places one at a time, and you got to follow that. I like that a lot. Similarly, like in comedy, because comedy tends to be like simple premises, one thing that happens and that gets stretched out and explored comedically. So I like that he took that approach. Well, the plot itself demanded so. So I like that.
And did you feel when you rewatched it? Because obviously you can't quite remember, say, when you watched it, but there was still a feeling that you had that first time.
Yeah.
Was it as scary the second time, or did you feel it was less so?
I would say it was about the same. I think when I rewatched it, I think it delivered exactly what I was hoping. Yeah, when I pitched the idea of watching the film to my girlfriend, because these days you got to pitch a movie. You know, you're like, I know a really good film. And my girlfriend does these things like every time I suggest a film and she goes, it's probably not going to be any good. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's going to be great. I suggested you Nike the film and you loved it. Have you seen Nike the film?
Is that the one with
Ben Affleck?
Ben Affleck. I've not watched it.
Good film.
It's a good film.
It's a good film.
You don't have to pitch it to me. I'm on board.
It's good. It's good. And then we watched The Founder, the one about McDonald's.
With Michael Keaton.
Great film.
There's a theme here.
Yeah, there's a theme there. But I suppose she hasn't forgiven me since Birdman. I pitched Birdman to her and we watched it.
How did you pitch Birdman? I'm her.
You got to watch Birdman. It's this film shot in one single take, allegedly. And and there's one of my favorite comedians in it. He has a great comedic part in that. And there's some great actors. Edward Norton. You like Edward Norton?
I like Edward Norton.
Yeah, he's in it. And the film can be like quite weird sometimes. So I think you'll like it if you're into cinema. Birdman. And he won an Oscar.
Yeah.
He won an Oscar. So
that was your pitch?
So that was my pitch. And we watched it. And rubbish. I got the words rubbish at the end.
Really?
Well, to be honest.
Call the Academy, take that Oscar back.
Yes. And put it back in my flat. But in my defense, we didn't finish the film. So
okay,
you got to watch the final product.
How far did you get? Do you remember?
About 2/3, I would say. About 2/3. But I still stand by it that it's a great film.
I think it's a great film.
Yeah, I think it's a great film. And Zach Galifianakis, my God, is he good?
I think Edward Norton puts in a fan. He's like incredibly hateable.
He puts on a shift, doesn't it? Yeah, he's so good. He's so good. Yeah.
That's one of the worst things ever is when you really love a film
yeah.
and then you try and show it to someone and you're like,
please
like it.
Please like it.
And then they either like it, they either pretend that they like it, which I think is worse, or they hate it.
And they hate it, yeah. And then you take it so personal and you throw yourself off a bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. You just sit there for days like, why do I like it?
It's worse than getting rejected. It's worse than like not getting the job you want.
It is, yeah. It's that, and it's almost like when you show someone a YouTube video, and you're like this, and you're watching them. And
yeah.
Then you can see they start to lose interest.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
But my YouTube video rate of likability is like nearly 100%.
Really?
Yeah. I will show you. I have some great YouTube video recommendations. Like really good. Even like a few days ago, we were just having dinner. I was like, I need to show you this video, which is about how you nearly can't spend $1 trillion. Like just how difficult it is to spend $1 trillion. Again, very simple premise at its core.
Yeah.
And the guy just basically breaks down how you can buy pretty much everything you want, and yet you would still have so much money left with 1 trillion. Like he was going on about how you could buy the cars that you wanted. You could buy every single NBA team. You can buy cruises. You can pay for everyone's ticket. You throw a Rolex on top of that, and you would still have so much money.
That's mad because I remember reading. Was it reading? No, I watched the video and it's about how much money Elon Musk has. And it was
I'm not interested. Sorry. That sounds boring.
But he was like, he could drive around the entire equator throwing out $100 bills every second, and he'd still have money left.
What a wonderful world we live in, right? What a wonderful talk about cost of living crisis when there is a person out there that can drop some cash and be like, you pick it up.
Because it's cheaper.
Because it's not. Because I've made that money. Back to the others, folks.
So Nicole Kidman's on this island, right?
Nicole Kidman is amazing in this role as well. Let's talk about Nicole Kidman.
She's great.
Absolutely amazing actress. And I think I remember my girlfriend saying she's a bit like insufferable. She's a bit like annoying.
Tough critic.
She is a tough critic. We started with Birdman.
Birdman, off you fuck.
Yeah.
Nicole
But
Kidman.
I think she's absolutely amazing. Like the way that there's a type of acting that I think in horror that you'll probably agree with me here. You know, when a character is so much in pain, either if it's physical pain, but I think the worst kind of pain is like grief pain. You know, when you know that you've lost everything that was worth to you as a person, and you can convey that deep emotional pain, like you've just lost your parents or your children, and you know that nothing else is worth living for. And that's what I think, spoiler alert, and I think that's what she can do as an actress, that I think it's so impressive when you see, and that's similar as well in this Ed Gein story that I'm watching on Netflix. There's also a moment where a character acts like that, and I think that's such a good sign of an actor when they can just stretch their emotional spectrum of acting. That is just very impressive to me.
And I would say off that, the kids are really great because they
Yeah.
have to match that, right? They
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
really bring the energy because
And-
she's chewing scenery. She's great.
Yeah, and the female sibling, she's such a good actor as well. Very, very good, and the kid as well, because the kid acts like, no, I'm so scared, and his sister's like, no, you're not scared. I'm gonna go outside. Then you're gonna get. He's like, no, don't go. And then I think that's a great relationship that they craft during the film. So yeah, I mean, I think Nicole Kidman absolutely fantastic in that role. The plot is amazing. The twist.
Should we talk about the twist?
Yeah. I mean, if you've not seen the film and you don't want to know what the twist is, stop and go and see the film. We'll see you in about an hour and a half. Please watch till the end.
Bring your nachos, your guac, and
yes,
your beer.
and your beer, but only open the beer when there's a big laugh in this pod, okay? So it doesn't put us off. So yeah, the twist. At the end, we realize that both the children and Nicole Kidman's character, Grace, they're all dead. And they're the ghosts. They are the ghosts. So they're in the theme, you know, all these supernatural events are taking place. And you think, what is going on? There is, I think even the sister teases that there's a character. He's got a name, but I don't remember. It's like, oh, he's here, he's around, he's this person. And then the servants as well. We realize 2/3 into the film that the servants are dead. And there's this idea that you think that the servants are bad people, but actually what they're there to do, they're there to tell Grace that she's dead as well.
Yeah, they're kind of like ushering her into the...
Yeah. You see at some point in the film them chatting to each other saying, let's not tell them quite yet. She will get onto that eventually. It's when she realizes that she's dead and they're all ghosts. There is a scene that I remember where she's got a gun and she's full on shooting them and like nothing happens. And you're like, how is that possible? That you just shotgun an old lady and she's like, you'll be fine. And you're like, what? And that's when you start realize, whoa, they possibly are ghosts as well.
Because there's that great bit, isn't there, where she's like rocking the table and then it cuts to the kind of, they're having like a seance, aren't they, or something?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great scene as well. Yeah. That's seance. And that's the twist at the end, that they've got people, they're in the house.
And they're the ghosts.
So they have this realization that, no, we're the ones, we are the others.
They're the others. Boom. Title card.
Title card.
Yeah.
Did you think that the writer was like, I don't know what to call this film? And they were like, oh no, they are the others. Mom? You're not going to believe this.
Call my agent.
Yeah, call my agent right now.
Did you watch The Sixth Sense before or after? Because obviously spoiler alert again, The Sixth Sense has the same twist.
Oh, I've not seen The
So
Sixth Sense.
sorry.
I've not seen
You've not seen it?
No.
I forget everything I just said.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I haven't ruined
That's
it.
fine.
It's not
That's okay.
integral to the plot.
So when I was at the Edinburgh Fringe this year, there was one comedian. He was a one-liner comedian, and he had one of my favorite jokes. He said, "I watched that film, The Sixth Sense. Yeah, I knew she was dead the whole time." How brilliant that is!
It's like, I don't know if you watch The Simpsons, but it's like the episode where Homer comes out of Empire Strikes Back. And there's everyone queuing to go. He goes, "Oh my God, he was his father the whole time." And they'll go, "Oh man, beautiful." So
but I will say this, and I wonder if you feel similarly or not. But I love a spoiler. If someone tells me how it happens, I was like, don't care, because then the challenge for me becomes, how does that? How will that happen? How, you see? Yeah. It's like, how is that gonna, if that character is gonna die, how is he gonna die?
What's the journey we're going on, right?
Yeah. So if I'm watching a film and I'm not really understanding like the twist, I will just Google it. Okay. And it helps me to understand.
Will you Google it while it's happening, or?
I've done that.
You've done that?
I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. Do you like a spoiler?
I think I'm in you guys' camp, where I feel like if it's a film I really, really love and I really want to see, I think I'd be a bit like, because I feel like, well, this is a funny story. Apparently when I was a kid, I used to flick to the back of a book and read the last page of a book.
Oh, really?
And spoil it for myself and then start again, which I think is weirdly psychopathic really to do, but
I think that's okay, because that just comes from a place of like, let's just see how this will go, or I think for a book, then if you read the end of the book, you're like, will this actually be worth it?
Yeah, it's a lot of like time investment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's a big investment, you know. We are watching at the moment Game of Thrones, and I've seen Game of Thrones.
Oh, so you've got the knowledge.
I've got the knowledge, and I was like, do you want to know who's going to be king of the north? And she's like, don't you ever fucking say it. I will fucking kill you. And I was like, oh, you're never going to guess it, you know? And then we just watched the red wedding scene. And that was the episode. I was like, buckle up. It's going to be amazing. And she's like, what do you mean it's going to be amazing? Like, just wait. Just wait.
Because I remember when Game of Thrones was huge and it first came out, and there was a guy who went viral. I think he was an English teacher, and he'd read all the books, so he knew all the spoilers.
Okay.
And he had a class. It was like a college class, and every time they were rowdy, he would write a name of a character that was going to die.
Oh, really?
Yeah, as a punishment. He wouldn't put them in detention. He'd just be like, Ned Stark.
Jon Snow, but he does come back to life somehow, allegedly. I watched it after it was cool, but it was not like a very long time after. So like, I remember going to school and some people were like, oh, I can't believe Jon Snow died. And I was like, who the fuck is Jon Snow? And they were like, oh, it's just the series that we're watching. I was like, oh, okay.
Cool.
And then when I watched it, I was like, is this guy gonna die?
Yeah.
But then he's like, I'm pretty sure he's in the last season as well. So I was just confused for 5 seasons.
When's this guy gonna die?
Yeah.
So Nicole Kidman, she's running around with a
Back to Nicole Kidman.
Back to the other. So that twist, they find out they're dead.
Yeah.
For you, has there ever been, this is one of the first films that scared you.
Yeah.
Has there been a film or a horror film with a twist like that that's kind of come close, do you think, to the others?
I'm being serious here. Willem Dafoe in Spider-Man.
As the Green Goblin.
As the Green Goblin.
You and I are not so different.
Oh, that gave me shivers now. There's that scene where he just rises because he's on that little fucking surfing board.
Yeah, he's on the.
And I remember seeing that mask, and I was like, "Phew."
I think what I love about those films, because that came out when I was younger, and I was a huge Spider-Man fan, so I loved the film. And then a bit like the Star Wars prequels, kind of got reappraised recently, and like it's really memeable.
What
Spider-Man is so memeable.
Oh, really? You think?
Yeah, I think.
Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah, like the kind of edits of Norman Osborn.
I only like Peter Parker's, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and I stop at that. I don't. It's the whole. I try to watch one with Andrew Garfield and Jamie Foxx. I nearly threw myself out of the plane. I was like, please open the door.
You were that
I'm
guy
about to. Yeah.
But he's great. But Dafoe in
In
Maguire,
Spider-Man, he's a great villain. And I remember seeing him in that mask, and I was a bit like, I wouldn't.
when he's talking to him.
Yeah. I don't.
Put me on, Norman.
That just reminded me of a villain that I was actually spooked about. Bane. Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy Bane.
Yeah, Tom Hardy Bane. Very like, I remember going home after the film and I was like, is he gonna be in my room? Like, I don't want to meet this guy.
I want to overthrow my town.
I remember being a bit like, this guy. But not so much about the Joker, you see. And I feel like the Joker should be number one spot in Batman villains. That
He's a lot scarier.
But I think Bane is like strong and he doesn't care. And he's got that gory mask. I hate that. I suppose I'm more spooked out by villains,
Yeah.
So like one of my favorite films, No Country for Old Men.
Oh, Javier Bardem is
Javier Bardem
Chigurh,
in Anton Chigurh. There's that shot where he's got like half of his face is lit, the other half is in darkness. The tension that the Coen brothers create in that film is fantastic. I love that film very much.
But it's kind of ironic because I guess in a way...
you'd say, but back to the others, Nicole Kidman.
Back to Nicole Kidman. No, but it's interesting as a comedian, like horror is the, a lot of people say that horror is the kind of the inverse of comedy, right? It's the same sort of thing. Instead of making someone scream, you make them laugh.
Yeah. I think that there's horror and comedy can sometimes feel like a good mix, but it's so difficult to make, I think, because you have to hone on both genres. I think they're very difficult to execute them together because I think a lot of horror comes from the way you create tension and the way that you're going to deliver that, almost kind of like a joke, like a setup, and then the punchline. But because of that same reason, comedy is also that. So you have to break that tension with the funny, but it's juggling the two things, how much you're going to have in horror, how much you're going to have. Because are you going to end up with a scary movie or are you going to do something different thematically, So I think those two genres are quite difficult to juggle. But some people do it, some people do it very well.
Do you believe in ghosts, Jose? As a fan of the others.
I don't think ghosts exist. I mean...
It's going to go on record. Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. I will go on record to say that I don't think ghosts exist. I'm much of a guy. I'll believe it when I see it. Yeah. Do you believe in ghosts?
No.
Because what's a ghost really? What's a ghost? It's a supernatural character, but does it have a personality? Does it have a body? Does it, I don't think they exist.
I think maybe going back to the others, is that there's...
And Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, is that there can be... I think that when energy is when enough energy is put in a place, be it negative or positive,
yeah,
I think a building can sort of absorb that and you see echoes. Not to get very...
Yeah.
You can see echoes of that energy when you enter a building.
Yeah.
When you go visit a friend's house, like they're a couple or something, and they've just had a massive argument, maybe like 5 minutes before you turned up.
Yeah.
There's that weird kind of tension and
awkwardness
in the room. It's a bit like that.
Because at places like that is like 10 children were murdered here. And I'm just making this up. It's like, someone got shot here and died. And exactly then that's in your mind. And I think you tend to add layers of what that was. So and then if we're sat here, was that person was there? How he was shot? Was it against this door? So I think ghosts can be just an interpretation of your subconscious.
Yeah.
Of what that place is. Do you know what I mean? Because it's because you can hack your brain so easily to think, because going back to, so tell me a time where you've been genuinely spooked out by a film.
Probably when I was younger, I'd say Aliens.
Aliens. So you got spooked out by aliens. I think, when you hold that feeling, you can hack your brain so easily as well. The same way that you watch something and you'll be scared, I think you can hack your brain as easily to reset back to no such thing,
Yeah.
So for me, you can just stop it, go on social media and look up cute cat videos or just epic fails, and you're like, oh, the world is back to normal. Yeah,
You just hard reset then, don't you?
a hard reset, major. Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. I sing a song, and that's okay.
But yeah, to wrap up, would you how would you pitch The Others to somebody?
I would pitch it as a suspense thriller that's got a story that's based on the themes of supernatural and religion at its core. But I would say if you're not a fan of horror at all, or just like scary films, I would say you'd still give this film a go, because it's a very comfortable watch regardless. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I think you can watch this film on your own. You don't think you're going to be cursed for 10 years. You can watch it with a friend. It'll be absolutely fine. But give this film a go, because you won't regret it, unlike Birdman. For my girlfriend, at least.
It's a type of film you can sit there with beers, guacamole, nachos.
Yeah. Popcorn. Olives.
I just want you olives.
Olives. I brought olives. I should be in jail after this.
Yeah.
I brought olives to the cinema.
There's a little Polaroid of you on a big board, maybe in the Odeon head office.
Yeah.
It's
It's like,
top.
get this guy.
We gotta
Top
get him.
Odeon wanker. This man right there. It was a great film, so that's fine.
With the food. Jose, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thank you. This was very nice. I like the setup. I like this place. I like you, Jack. I like you too.
Don't talk to him.
Oh shit, that's Nicole Kidman. Thanks.
Amazing, cool.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to First Frights. That was my interview with Jose Fortuna. If you want to follow and support our podcast, please find us on Patreon.